What was the biggest impetus to buying Twitter?
I was growing increasingly concerned that there was a lack of freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and that there was a lot of censorship, and a lot of censorship was, some of it was obvious, a lot of it was hidden.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really unhealthy for public discourse. So how are people, say, in a democracy supposed to make the right decision if they don't have the right information? If they're being misled or important information is being withheld, which obviously was the case, in the infamous Hunter Biden laptop situation. Everyone knows about that, but there are thousands of other smaller situations like that. So effectively, Twitter and frankly Google and YouTube and whatnot, Facebook, they put their thumb on the scale of elections worldwide, and they have done for some time. So, and a lot of times it's so subtle you don't even really notice it. Frankly, Google's might be the most pernicious in that it's very easy for them to just slightly derank a search. So it's on page like 4 or 5, if you're looking for something, and nobody ever goes there. So it's not gone. It's just not on page 1.
Yeah.
And the old joke used to be that what's the best place to hide a dead body would be the second page of Google search results. Nobody ever goes there.
Yeah.
So I think in order to have a solid bedrock for democracy, and frankly, even if a country's not strictly speaking a democracy, it's still good for the people to know what's going on.
Yeah.
We have to have at least one platform that you can count on that is maximum truth seeking, and that's what the goal is here with X/Twitter is maximum truth seeking, really allowing all voices to be heard. I mean, unless someone's doing something like just flat out illegal, then they should be allowed to say what they want to say. And free speech is only relevant if we allow people that you don't like to say things you don't like. Otherwise, it loses all meaning. And at least in the U.S., like the First Amendment is pointless. And if you don't let people you don't like say things that they don't like, and you censor them, it's only a matter of time before that censorship is turned upon you.
Yeah.
So that was the essential wisdom in the First Amendment. And so you can kind of tell that it's working if you see people that you don't like saying you don't like. That's a good sign, actually.
Yeah. Something I found incredibly interesting, for example, when you bought Twitter, was that people were not afraid that they would be censored, but they were afraid that their opposition, especially people more on the right side of the aisle, would not be censored. They were afraid of the freedom of speech aspect. So how did we get there?
I think that people like that should really look at themselves in the mirror and say, like, what are you actually asking here? You want censorship? You want things to be, you want information to be withheld from the public, even though it's fully legal? Effectively, what they're saying is they want the public to be misled and uninformed of all sides of the issue. That's obviously morally wrong. But you have the situation where basically all the social media companies are based in the Bay Area, or I guess if you add Snap, it's LA, but the most influential ones are all in the Bay Area. So they have a very sort of far left position, especially in San Francisco. I mean, it doesn't get more far left than San Francisco, Berkeley. It's like,
I was exploring the city today, and I noticed that. I felt that.
Yeah, I mean, you can see like there's some pretty rough parts of the city. People sometimes say, "Oh, you must be exaggerating." I'm like, you just come to downtown SF on any random day.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, and it's like Mad Max Walking Dead situation.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it's like you can't believe it. Freedom of speech is currently costing about $2 billion a year. So this is a lot.
Just on Twitter.
And lost revenue, it's right now, roughly $2 billion a year. Media is going to give you generally the dramatized Cliff Notes version of reality. Because if they give you the full thing, it's too complicated and it's going to bore people. And if they really give it too much balance, it really doesn't have enough controversy to get the click. This is the incentive structure, and so whatever you incent will happen. So the legacy media have had to deal with a shrinking advertising pie for a long time because Google and Facebook and whatnot have taken so much of the advertising revenue. Well, it's been a struggle for the traditional media.
Yeah.
So that they've been forced to be click maximizing machines or die.
What do you think is the greatest threat to humanity?
Well, I think digital superintelligence is a real concern. Now, I think that digital superintelligence, or artificial general intelligence, as it's called sometimes or mostly, is more likely to be good than bad, but it's just that the probability of a bad outcome is not zero. And I think probably the more we worry about a bad outcome, the less likely it is to occur.
Okay.
So I think we should be, just say like, let's try to steer the AI in a good direction. You will absolutely be happier if you have kids. Absolutely. We've evolved to have that, as all creatures have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can take, say, I don't know, like an alley cat or something, or a bobcat, like some like wild creature that would normally be quite fierce and unfriendly,
mm-hmm.
And like kill or eat anything it came across. But the moment it has, cubs or puppies or whatever, or kittens, it becomes that becomes loving mom.
Mm-hmm.
So like the cat that was really mean is like taking care of its little kittens. It's instinct. It's
yes.
It's genetic programming. So people should really expect that if they have kids, they will improve their quality of life, not make it worse.
You've got a lot of kids?
Yeah, I'm trying to set a good example.
Awesome.
Yeah.
How has having kids made your life better? How does it make you happier? And how does it motivate and drive the things that you're doing?
I mean, I don't know. It's like, I think it's normal to love your kids. It's just kind of an automatic thing. And they've got this little creature that's depending on you to take care of it, and it's very rewarding to do so, mm-hmm. I think, inherently. I mean, they're a lot of fun. But I don't know. You love them. They love you. It's great.
Do you find being a father is a driver? Is that a particular driver and motivator for the way you think and the things the things that you're not trying to do, the things you are doing?
I think it does motivate me to, want to make sure that the future is going to be good for my kids, And I had kind of like I wouldn't say, I really mostly sad on an unhappy childhood, actually. It wasn't 100% bad, but it was pretty rough. And I lived in South Africa until I was 17. And then I was able to get Canadian citizenship through my mom because she was born in Canada.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, I left when I was 17. I think my views of South Africa are somewhat scarred by kind of a negative childhood experience, like literally scars.
Yeah.
I have literally quite a few scars. It was tough. So there's certainly plenty of good things about the country, but my particular experience was not that great.